Hi friends, this is your pal Scott Garibay, and today I want to talk about Dungeons and Dragons, and I want to talk about evoking an emotion at the table, feeling something real. And I want to talk about the next 50 years, and specifically today I want to talk about awe. Okay, so so basically, we got the first 50 years of Dungeons and Dragons wrong in virtually every single aspect. But one of the most powerful aspects we got wrong, the greatest myth, the worst, the most disgusting thing we thought about Dungeons and Dragons was that the point of Dungeons and Dragons was to have fun. This was a massive anchor on the entire community. It was really harmful and just wrong by every single metric. It was just really bad and really wrong and not good, just terrible. And the reason we now know this is B. Dave Walters. So B. Dave Walters comes forward. He's a podium. He's a podium level dungeon master. He's literally one of the top three, gold, silver, copper, gold, silver, bronze. He's he's not number one. Matthew Mercer is the best dungeon master in the world, but he's definitely two or three. And very official, connected to, very canon. Dungeons and Dragons connected directly to Wizards of the Coast, connected directly to Hasbro. It's hard to get more official than him. In fact, I think it's arguable that B. Dave Walters has more official connections to Dungeons and Dragons than Matthew Mercer at this point. But Matthew Mercer is still the best that's ever lived at this point. But he said something profound. He changed. So, in my humble opinion, B. Dave Walters changed the goal of Dungeons and Dragons for the next 50 years. And he said, when I dungeon master, I'm looking to evoke a strong emotion. And if someone at the table is feeling something, then it's success. This is huge, right? Because this abandons if everybody is having fun, you're doing it right. And the reason why is fun isn't an emotion, right? And also, one thing that's brilliant about there's two things that are brilliant about what B. Dave Walters said. So many things, but these are two of the brightest stars within his statement. One, he frees us from everybody at the table having to have the same ridiculous, useless experience, right? What is the value of fun, right? Like it's valueless, right? It's a spark that flies off of two rocks when they're hit, right? The worst way to have it is to pursue it, right? Or to seek it, or to try to get it. It's a spontaneous thing that happens when we don't try. And we were telling everybody at the table that they had to have fun, which is about the best way to make sure that no one has fun, right? And really explains a ton of problems that we had in the first 50 years of Dungeons and Dragons. And also is extremely exciting because with that next 50 years, it's incredible what we could actually accomplish now that we know the real goal, right? So what's really amazing is, so fun is not an emotion. The closest thing to it is laughter, and that is an explosive expression. Still, not even an emotion. There are no emotions connected to fun, right? Perhaps you could connect the word frivolity, right? But once we realize that B. Dave Walters is right, and we shift the focus, right, and we're looking to get a strong emotional response at the table, right? And we're not prescribing what that emotional response has to be. It opens Dungeons and Dragons to the array of emotions that can be taught, that can be experienced. I've already talked about some, and I'm going to continue talking about it now. And what I want to talk about today is awe. Awe is a powerful emotion, and it's incredibly valuable to be expressed through Dungeons and Dragons. So, why? Well, the vast majority of people who play Dungeons and Dragons are not religious. In fact, and that's not a small thing. That's not by accident, right? In the 80s, there was the Satanic Panic, and most churches, even to this day, do not equate Dungeons and Dragons with anything connected to Jesus Christ, right? Now, and so there's most people who play Dungeons and Dragons are absolutely not religious. They don't have a god. They are godless, right? So when you have these godless people, they've never experienced awe. Now, I'm incredibly blessed. I'm an evangelical Christian, and I have experienced awe probably, You could roll a d20. That would be the amount. It's no less than 7, and I don't think it's any higher than 17. But I have experienced awe where I sensed the power of God. I sensed the presence of God. I heard the voice of God. I felt, the touch of God, and his power was completely there, right? And so I've experienced awe many times. It is one of the most powerful emotions I've ever experienced, right? But godless people don't have any sense of this, right? But Dungeons and Dragons can deliver that sense of awe. Now, how would they do it? Well, Dungeons and Dragons was extremely careful to make sure that every single um, setting has gods, except one, Dark Sun, right? And I think that's one of the reasons why they've never literally ruled it out. They've never, you will not find any Dark Sun material within 5th edition. It was one of the reasons why it was a mistake. It was a mistake within Dungeons and Dragons. Dungeons and Dragons is every single realm has not just one god, it has pantheons, right? And in every single realm, those gods are very real. And the reason you know them is they will literally heal your character in about every campaign. You will not get through a campaign without being healed by a cleric. And when you are healed and brought back from the brink of death, you are going to experience awe. Now, it's not as powerful as what I experienced as a real Christian, through experiencing God in a real way, but it's pretty close. Right? It's similar. It is the same shape of experience, right? It's probably not even close, but it is at least the same shape. And that's important. That is incredibly important. It is very important, okay? And I really am excited about the idea that now that we can abandon fun as the goal of Dungeons and Dragons, we can embrace, in the second 50 years, evoking emotion. This is a good goal. Let's have somebody at the table feel something real. That is a great goal. Every single word you just heard in this video is my humble opinion. Not a thing more and not a thing less. The important part is when I get to hear your humble opinion. When you get in the comments, send your traffic. Please consider liking, subscribing, and have a fetch millennium.